Thanks for watching Community Update for Friday, June 26th. I'm Steve Erickson. The number of COVID cases here in Anoka County continues to rise, but the daily case count is lower than this time last month. Anoka County recently launched a dashboard on its website with data specific to our region. Nearly 2,000 people in Anoka County have been infected with the coronavirus, and around 100 have died. Coon Rapids has the highest number of cases, followed by Fridley and Blaine. The dashboard breaks down the cases by age, gender, race, and ethnicity. Again, you can find the information on the county's website. It's updated each day, Monday through Friday. On Wednesday, all Anoka County libraries, except for the Mississippi Library in Fridley, reopened to the public after being shut down for the past 3 months. Anoka County is the first library system in the metro area to reopen with limited hours and capacity. CTN's Steve Antis has more.
Welcome back to the library. We're so glad you're here.
Staff met visitors outside as they entered Crooked Lake Library. And although masks are not required, they are strongly encouraged.
We are trying to make it a good library experience for them.
Library staff are wiping down high-touch surfaces several times a day. And among the bookshelves, arrows on the floor point in the direction you should walk.
We're encouraging social distancing with signage on the floor and on the walls. We have plexiglass barriers that we put up at the service desk.
One of the biggest changes will be for computer users.
They can't just sign in with their library card. Right now we're trying to keep touch to a minimum. So they'll be signing in for a guest pass and using the computers whether or not they have a library card.
And time spent on the computer will be limited as well.
So at the 50-minute mark, we're having people log off so that if there are people waiting, they can use the computers, and it also gives a slight buffer to wipe down each computer station in between.
After the library spent the last 3 months in lockdown, patrons are happy to be back.
I love the library. I can get my books again, my movies.
It's nice to have the county stuff opening back up again.
One thing children and even adults will miss most are the in-person programs.
Story time in the children's area, or arts and craft classes, or cooking classes, or lectures. Those things will not be happening in person.
In the meantime, there are a variety of virtual programs being offered online, like Story Time on Facebook Live.
It's going to look slightly different when you come in. It's still the same library.
It's a sign of the times at your local library.
Have a good day.
I'm Steve Antis reporting for Community Update.
The library's limited hours of operations are Monday and Wednesday from 1 to 7 p.m. and Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from noon to 6 p.m. A special honor to tell you about for a local library. Anoka County Centennial Library recently received a merit award from the American Institute of Architects, Minnesota, for a renovation and expansion project completed last year. The renovation project almost doubled the size of the building and features a bigger children's area, a large meeting room, several smaller conference rooms, an outdoor learning space, and an IQ kitchen. In-person absentee voting starts today for the primary election in August. Meanwhile, the city clerk is looking for residents interested in serving as election judges for both the primary and general elections. Students between the ages of 16 and 18 are also being recruited to serve as election judges. These are paid positions and training is provided. To learn more, log on to the city's website, coonrapidsmn.gov.
We're going to begin by just getting to know the candidates a little bit as people.
Candidates running for City Council Ward 4 and at-large participated in a question and answer session Thursday night. The event was sponsored by the local chapter of the League of Women Voters. Due to the coronavirus, there was no audience. All of the questions were prepared and given to the candidates prior to the forum. CTN was there to provide TV coverage. You can watch the candidate forum in its entirety in the coming weeks on our government channel. More development is planned in the Gateway Commerce Center off Highway 10 and Hanson Boulevard. The Planning Commission recently approved a site plan for a 7,900 square foot multi-tenant commercial building on property just to the north of the Taco Bell. The list of tenants is not yet known, but a drive-through is planned on the south side of the building. And just to the east, a new daycare center is expected to be constructed. At the last Planning Commission meeting, New Creations Childcare received approval for a site plan for the project. The proposal calls for a 13,000 square foot, two-story building. It's not yet clear when construction will begin. There were more than 10,000 electric vehicles registered in Minnesota last year. As more electric vehicles are on the road, more charging stations are popping up. CTN's Jennifer Anderson has more on 2 new charging stations that will put Coon Rapids on the map.
Transportation is the #1 emitter for greenhouse gases and carbon.
Diana McEwen of the Great Plains Institute says electric vehicles are expected to be in every Minnesota county by the end of the year.
They're here to stay, and we know the benefits of reduced emissions and over the life of the vehicle saving money.
This week, Coon Rapids installed 2 electric vehicle charging stations in the parking lot of the Coon Rapids Ice Center and outside the Civic Center.
You just simply reach in.
Patrick Farnham is with Cedar Creek Energy, which handled the installation. He says electric vehicle charging stations are gaining a foothold in the alternative energy market.
And so there are a handful of cities around the metro that have them. Coon Rapids is definitely on the front end of that, but as more people electrify their vehicles, we'll see more and more of these charging stations pop up.
A $15,000 grant from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency helped pay for these charging stations. The City Council committed to the final 20% of the cost. The charging stations are free for the public to use.
Yeah, I think it's a critical first step, especially for cities to set the tone for their community, to help their constituents and their community members see that switching to electric is easy.
The app PlugShare tracks the location of charging stations, and the 2 in Coon Rapids will join a network of more than 700 in the state.
By having an electric vehicle charger here, it literally will put Coon Rapids on the map.
Electric vehicle owners do most of their charging at home overnight. Plugging into this unit for about an hour will give most EVs enough juice for another 10 or 20 miles. The cost to the city is so small, it's not even worth charging a fee. Reporting for Community Update, I'm Jennifer Anderson.
The charging stations are called Level 2 60-amp units, which were partly made by a Minnesota company. Both of the new charging stations are able to charge 2 vehicles at the same time and will be available to the public sometime in July. Some good news for a project to improve safety on Highway 10 in the city of Ramsey. The U.S. Department of Transportation recently awarded Anoka County a $40 million grant. The project would involve improvements on Highway 10 at both the Sunfish Lake Boulevard and Ramsey Boulevard intersections, along with the BNSF Railway intersections at both locations. The project will also include new local frontage road connections to support the grade separations and reduce traffic backups. A heads up about an upcoming road closure here in Coon Rapids. Northbound East River Road will be closed the evening of Friday, July 10th and remain closed until the morning of Monday, July 13th. Traffic will be detoured on Foley Boulevard during the closure. Crews are doing rehabilitative work on the Coon Rapids Boulevard bridges over the BNSF railroad tracks and northbound East River Road. Coon Rapids Boulevard will remain open during construction. Unfortunately, this year's 4th of July celebration has been canceled due to the pandemic, but that isn't stopping us from getting into the spirit here at CTN.
The biggest tricycle in Minnesota.
We've been digging in the archive vault and have found many old parades from over the years. It's certainly been a trip down memory lane for us, and we hope you enjoy some of the classics. We'll be airing the parades over the 4th of July weekend. You can also find them on our CTN YouTube channel. That's going to bring us to the end of today's show. A quick programming note, we will not be doing an update next Friday, July 3rd, due to the holiday. Our next show will start airing on Friday, July 10th, so be sure to join us then. Have a happy and safe 4th of July.